So for here is what gonna happen. I am going to present to give you a case detail of client's information. So imagine that we work in some setting like hospital or school or any child center care, but we just got that information. But we focus on only the process that we sit down and think. So what are the possible goals? What are the therapeutic goals that can be possible? And what do we should prepare? What we should prepare in order to work with these clients as the first time. So for all other students and participants, there is no right or wrong here. So everything can be possible. So the most important thing is for you all to think, try to think. And the most important and another most important is to listen to our experts here. So I will share the screen and show you the patient detail. And you can read for international. But I am going to explain that detail in Thai. Would that be okay for you all? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Hope you can see all of that. So เดี๋ยวพี่พูดภาษาไทยเลยแล้วกันนะครับเนาะ คนนี้นะครับเป็นเด็กผู้ชายชื่อน้องเคนนะครับเป็นชื่อสมมุตินะครับก็อยู่ในช่วงยังแบบว่าอายุแบบประมาณแบบเด็กไม่ใช่เด็กทารกโตขึ้นมาหน่อยนิดนึงเนาะเดี๋ยวเราค่อยมาดูว่าเขาอายุเท่าไหร่นะครับเดี๋ยวเรามารู้จักประวัติเด็กคนนี้ก่อนนะครับเนาะเคนเนี่ยเป็นเด็กที่แบบค่อนข้างเงียบนะครับไม่ค่อยพูดจาอะไรเนาะแล้วก็เวลาทำอะไรบางสิ่งบางอย่างเนี่ยครับเนาะก็จะทำไม่ค่อยคือจะทำได้ช้ากว่าเด็กคนอื่นนะเนาะถ้าเกิดเทียบกับเด็กในช่วงอายุเดียวกันนะครับแล้วก็ที่สำคัญเนี่ยก็คือว่าเขาเนี่ยยากลำบากต่อการสบตามากๆเลยนะครับย้อนไปเมื่อถึงตอนที่น้องเคนนะครับเป็นเด็กทารกนะครับน้องเคนเนี่ยไม่สามารถบับเบิลได้คือแบบไม่เปล่งเสียงอ้อแอะอะไรเงี้ยเหมือนเด็กทารกที่เขาจะเปล่งเสียงได้เนาะแล้วก็เขาก็จะใช้เป็นแบบว่าการสื่อสารโดยที่เป็นแบบภาษากายแบบว่าเล็กๆน้อยๆเท่านั้นก็ไม่ได้ยากไม่ได้ใช้ภาษากายได้เยอะมากเท่าไหร่เนาะเช่นแบบชี้ไปจะเอานู่นจะเอานี่ก็ใช้มือชี้ไปนะครับจนกระทั่งเมื่อเคนอายุ2 ขวบครึ่งนะครับน้องเคนเนี่ยก็ไปโรงเรียนเนาะคราวนี้คุณครูเนี่ยก็สังเกตว่าเฮ้ยทำไมน้องเคนเนี่ยเล่นกับเพื่อนได้ยากไม่ค่อยเล่นกับเพื่อนเวลาจะเล่นกับเพื่อนดูยากลำบากกว่าเด็กคนอื่นแทนที่แบบจะเข้าหาเพื่อนได้ง่ายๆนะครับแล้วก็ดูว่าเหมือนเคนเนี่ยจะอยู่แต่ในโลกส่วนตัวไม่ค่อยไปยุ่งกับใครเท่าไหร่เนาะก็แล้วก็แต่ว่าน้องเคนเนี่ยไม่ได้มีปัญหาทางด้านพฤติกรรมยังเห็นได้ชัดนะคือไม่ได้มีพฤติกรรมก่อกวนอะไรนะครับแต่ว่าจะอยู่กับตัวเองเนาะน้องเคนเนี่ยก็มักจะเล่นอยู่กับตัวเองเนี่ยแหละครับคุณครูเนี่ยก็กังวลเนาะว่าเคนอาจจะมีพัฒนาการบางอย่างที่ผิดปกติหรือเปล่าก็เลยแนะนำให้คุณพ่อคุณแม่ของน้องเคนเนี่ยครับพาน้องเคนเนี่ยไปหาหมอนะครับจนกระทั่งเมื่อน้องเคนอายุได้3 ขวบนะครับน้องเคนเนี่ยก็ไปพบนักจิตวิทยาคลินิกคนหนึ่งนะครับแล้วนักจิตวิทยาคลินิกเนี่ยเป็นผู้ชายนะครับก็บอกว่าก็คือพัฒนาการทางจิตวิทยาโดยทั่วไปเนี่ยก็ถือว่าอยู่ในช่วงปกติดีนะครับแล้วก็มีทักษะอันนึงซึ่งสูงมากเป็นแบบการเหมือนควบคุมทักษะที่ต้องใช้การควบคุมอะครับอย่างเช่นเหมือนพวกต่อจิ๊กซอว์อะไรอย่างเงี้ยครับเนาะแล้วก็น้องเคนเนี่ยก็แบบอ่อนไหวเซนซิทีฟง่ายต่อเสียงบางเสียงนะครับซึ่งเขาไม่ได้บอกว่าเสียงอะไรนะคราวนี้เคนเนี่ยครับก็มีอันนึงชัดเจนเลยว่าคือมีข้อจำกัดในการพูดเป็นคำออกมานะครับแล้วก็ยากลำบากในการที่จะมีปฏิสัมพันธ์ทางสังคม นะครับดังนั้นเนี่ยครับนักจิตวิทยาคลินิกคนนี้ครับก็เลยส่งน้องเคนนะครับไปหานักฝึกพูดนะครับนักฝึกพูดเนี่ยก็พาน้องเคนเนี่ยเข้าในกลุ่มเล่นแล้วเรียกว่า play therapy นะครับระยะเวลามันประมาณปีหนึ่งนะครับพอปีหนึ่งผ่านไปนะครับนักฝึกพูดเนี่ยก็บอกว่าเคนเนี่ยสามารถเล่นกับเพื่อนในกลุ่มได้แล้วนะแล้วก็สามารถจัดการความกลัวที่แบบต้องเข้าหาคนนะครับได้แล้วนะดีขึ้นเนาะแล้วก็เคนน้องเคนเนี่ยครับก็สามารถที่จะทนต่อเสียงกรีดร้องของเด็กคนอื่นในกลุ่มได้ด้วยแสดงหลังการบำบัดไปปีหนึ่งก็เริ่มดีขึ้นใช่ไหมครับจนกระทั่งน้องเคนอายุได้4 ขวบนะครับนักจิตนักจิตวิทยาคลินิกนะครับก็พบว่าเคนเนี่ยก็ยังมีข้อจำกัดทางด้านภาษาและการสื่อสารอยู่นะครับนักฝึกพูดก็เห็นเหมือนกันว่าน้องเคนเนี่ยยากลำบากมากเลยในการที่จะเหมือนสื่อสารปล่อยสารให้มันเป็นประโยคลงไปนะครับถึงแม้ว่าน้องเคนเนี่ยจะพูดประโยคยาวๆได้แต่ว่ามันก็ยังยากสำหรับน้องเคนที่จะเลือกใช้ประโยคได้อย่างเหมาะสมนะครับนักฝึกพูดก็คิดว่าความยากตรงเนี้ยครับที่น้องเคนเนี่ยไม่สามารถแบบพูดสื่อสารเป็นประโยคได้อย่างเหมาะสมเนี่ยอาจจะเป็นสาเหตุที่ทำให้น้องเคนเนี่ยเกิดปัญหาด้านสังคมได้นะครับดังนั้นเนี่ยpsychiatrist เนี่ยครับก็คือจิตแพทย์นะครับจิตแพทย์เนี่ยก็ให้การวินิจฉัยว่าน้องเคนเนี่ยก็คือเป็นโรคอันนึงคือว่าเราเรียกว่า specific language disorder นะครับก็ซึ่งโรคเนี่ยครับเนาะเดี๋ยวพี่เล่าคร่าวๆคือมันเป็นเป็นโรคที่มีความผิดปกติทางด้านภาษาซึ่งมันมีได้หลายอย่างมันอาจจะเป็นเรื่องของการแต่งรูปประโยคไม่เหมือนกันการเอากรรมมาอยู่ข้างหน้าประธานไปอยู่เป็นกรรมอะไรเงี้ยครับเอากริยามาอยู่คือมันอาจจะเป็นเรื่องของการเขาเรียกอะไรเป็นไวยากรณ์ทางภาษาอะไรเงี้ยครับเนาะมันมีได้หลากหลายอย่างนะครับก็จนกระทั่งเมื่อน้องเคนอายุ5 ขวบนะครับน้องเคนก็ถูกส่งไปหานักปฏิบัติคนหนึ่งนะครับเพราะว่ามีคุณครูคนหนึ่งเนี่ยเขาเห็นว่าเฮ้ยน้องเคนเนี่ยตอบสนองดีในสภาพแวดล้อมที่เป็นดนตรีนะครับอย่างโดยเฉพาะในวิชาเรียนดนตรีเนี่ยพบคุณครูคนเนี้ยครับเขาเห็นว่าน้องเคนเนี่ยสามารถที่จะพูดเป็นคำผ่านเพลงได้แบบอย่างง่ายดายเลยนะครับง่ายได้กว่าการพูดเฉยๆคือพอมีเพลงเนี่ยโอ้โฮน้องเคนเนี่ยจะปล่อยคำออกมาได้นะครับคุณครูเนี่ยก็คาดหวังว่านักดนตรีบำบัดเนี่ยจะช่วยแบบมีเหมือนเป็นแบบฝึกหัดอะไรที่ทำให้ที่จะช่วยเพิ่มพูนทักษะการพูดของน้องเคนนะครับ So uh for international sorry for international students, so is there any terminologies or any sentences that you don't understand and you want to ask? You can turn on the microphone and ask me immediately, or you can send the message. Okay, now I think it's good time for brainstorming. As the period of our workshop, so I would like to get a lot of engagement, a lot of opinion, a lot of thoughts. So I will ask your name and then you can share what is your idea about this. So just remind you again, there is no right or wrong. It's about thinking. So the more you think, the more you understand. The people here, all the people, all the experts who are here, they, I believe 100% that they will not just get the answer, but they will educate you. Okay, so let's talk about the first question that we need to think about the therapeutic goals, but everything here is a possibility. So ask yourself, what do you want to help? So is there anything that if Ken has as the skill to make his life better? So I am going to start with Thai students. So the international student, you don't need to be worried about that. Okay. I am going to ask พี่ปูแล้วกันครับ so and for international students so I tell your name ahead so you can prepare so I am going to ask Thala RC yeah. so let's start with Thai student เดี๋ยวเชิญพี่ปูเลยนะครับสามารถตอบภาษาไทยได้นะครับแล้วเดี๋ยวการแปลเป็นภาษาอังกฤษได้นะครับ
อันนี้ถามพี่ข้อหนึ่งใช่ไหมคะ
ใช่ครับพี่ปูคิดว่าแบบมันเราจะช่วยอะไรเด็กๆคนนี้ดีใช่ครับ
I think we should help about communication skills language skills but first we must think about joint attention you can have joint attention for other people ไหมคะอาจารย์กันปกติ
ครับ
ใช่ไหมคะfirst เหมือนว่าจะต้องแบบโปรโมท joint attention นะคะเพื่อที่จะให้เขามันจะเป็น basic skill พอไปถึง communication skill ต่อไปอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ
โอเค
เพื่อเราจะได้สอนให้ง่ายๆใช่ไหมคะมี imitation แล้วให้เขาตามอะไรเราได้นะคะ
so she also she also tell me that joint attention is very important because joint attention is the first skill before teaching or develop other skills. So, Kara, are you ready to share? So, if you don't comfortable with talking, you can type. You can text the message. So maybe may I go to Alicia? Any ideas? Okay, I will try one more. Illinois, any idea that you want to help?
For the first question?
Yeah.
I think I have the same way with her, to be honest. Yeah,
like
his communication skills and language disorder. I think we're gonna try to help in that. We want to what is it called? We want to better his communication skills, basically. Okay.
Thank you so much. And I got another message from Alicia. So she said, in my opinion, we can also work for their social interaction, like interaction between his peer or therapist. Agree. So now I am going to ask the expert to share. So maybe start with Dr. Jenny. So what do you think about all of these areas?
I think I agree with all the answer that the students just respond. For me, if I work with Ken for the first time, I would go straight and try to engage him because is that my goal? How to say? My goal will be try to get him involved with anything that happened in the session. Try to get him to be less isolated. I think this is the main thing. He doesn't have to like make a sound. I just want him to look at me. Maybe increase the time when he makes some eye contact. Yeah, I'll start with that.
Oh, that's very good. So how about Dr. Satoko, any idea or any reflection for the first question?
I think that I totally agree with what all the people said, and also Dr. Jen say too. And
I think Dr. Satoko, you mute the mic.
oh, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
That's okay.
said that I totally agree what everyone said, and also what Dr. Jennings was saying as well. And also that probably for the first therapy session, I will go with the ISO principle, which is if Ken comes in really excited, we might use some excited music. And if he is really having a difficult time communicating in the group, I will just observe and see and let him join the group with his pace or something like that. If it's a one-on-one session, maybe we give several different style of music rhythms and see if what he can be interested in. So we do observe a lot before we start.
Yeah, thank you so much. You give us some idea about music intervention as well. Thank you so much. So how about you, Haley?
Yep, I think everyone got all the big stuff, things that we'd want to focus on, especially at the beginning. I think after you get to know Ken more and see his responses and what it is that he's needing extra support in, then that would change some of the treatment plan. But starting with just interacting with him, getting him to interact with us or with other peers or other therapists, and then working on some of that communication and language skills. Certainly.
Yeah, I think it seems like we all agree with some sorts of social interaction first, like the major help that we can provide Ken to make him get better in other areas. So I think we do have the evidence to support that he have a poor social interaction skill, like from the doctor, from the clinical psychologist. But now I am going to ask these experts to share why we need to provide music therapy. In my opinion, for social interaction, like as the therapeutic goal, there are many therapy. There are many interventions to solve this issue. So I would like you to share why. Why can need music? Why can need music therapy? So now is a good time for our students and participants to hear. So yeah, I think Haley, you seem like ready to go. So you go first.
Yeah. So you don't have to answer. You can just think about your answer in your head. But if you're participating in a workshop like this, if you're in a class, if you're reading a book, if you're watching a TV show and you're interested in it, what are the things that happens? It has your attention.
Yeah.
You may be more likely to do whatever it is that they're asking you. If you're in a workshop and you're like, wow, this is really interesting and you're really engaged in it, you're going to be taking more notes. You're going to be saying more things. You're going to be thinking more because what you're involved in is interesting. You're engaged in that process. So one of the things we know about music in general is that music can be interesting and music can engage you, and especially if the music therapist is using something like the ISO principle, client preferred music, client led music, something that they're instruments that the client is really drawn towards. Those experiences help that individual or the group become extra engaged in what's happening. So if we're optimally engaging them, we're going to start to target some of those other areas that they're needing extra support in. And we also know then that the reason we can target those is because there's a lot of overlap in areas of the brain. So we know that if I'm targeting this musically, but this area is also necessary for the non-musical skill. So if this was what I was using musically and this is what I needed non-musically, it wouldn't work. Working in two different areas of the brain or two different kinds of skills. But we know that a lot of them do overlap. We can present something musically so it engages them, and it helps engage that part of the brain because that's what's critical for that non-musical skill.
Wow, Kelly, you were talking about the brain. That's very impressive. I don't expect that information. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So, how about you, Satoko?
Well, Haley said wonderfully with how brain could process with music and non-musical goals. And as in the information, Ken's information, he seems like showing better interest in music. So that is why music therapy would work. And if you are speaking to them to try to communicate, he might have a really difficult time because how he communicates with others in the information. So music seems the best solution, and if so, music therapy would be the first choice if they have several different choices as a therapy. And that's my thoughts.
Thank you so much. Wow, that is great. Dr. Jenny, how about you?
Okay, I agree with Haley and Satoko, and I think people know that music can affect human being in so many ways, like cognitive, emotion, so many things, feeling. They have so many domains that music can affect people in positive way. So I think even we start with music can make people happy. That can create so many things in that word. Music can make people happy. So happy can heal with the less depression. Happy, it means that people want to go and social with other people. Happy means that people can can concentrate on one thing long, so people can learn better. So it's just that one word had imply into so many domains. That's why we use music. And in this case, like Ken, you said that Ken happy they respond well in the music, right?
Yeah.
In the case, I'm not so sure I remember it right. So I think that's why I think that is the first thing when even for myself, for my experience working as a music therapist, the first criteria for my client is if the children respond well to music or the children are interested in the music, that's fine. Just come into the music therapy. That's all. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, thank you all of your wonderful thoughts. So now it's my turn. I having mine as well. So I think music is easy to to participate, and it has no fear. Like it's all of the positive. Music is just positive itself. So we can control music. Music cannot control us. If you provide to the child, to the child, especially for Ken. So like he can play like one time, like one beat, or just listen to music. That is totally fine. But music is easy to access. That is my reason why. Yeah. So for the participant and students, so all of the experts know about this because we are practicing and we are searching. We read a lot of research. That why we need to have the expert to share to you immediately so you can gain the important information and you can bring this information to apply in your work, in your internship, or in your future practicum. Yeah. So let me, I just want to say it in Thai because it can has more emotion than speaking in English. So I can send my energy to my Thai student. นักเรียนไทยนะครับ อันเนี้ยคือทุกคนเข้าใจแหละแต่ว่าเป็นเรื่องของพี่ที่พี่อยากจะพูดเองอ่ะคือถามว่าทำไมดนตรีบำบัดถึงเหมาะกับเคนเนาะก็คือว่าดนตรีเนี่ยมันเป็นสิ่งที่แบบน่าสนใจคือจริงๆมันมีหลายสิ่งหลายอย่างที่น่าสนใจดนตรีเป็นสิ่งหนึ่งที่น่าสนใจเมื่อเราเกิดสนใจปุ๊บเนี่ยเราก็จะจดต่ออยู่กับมัน engage ไปกับมันนะครับอีกอันนึงคือว่าเฮลี่เนี่ยเขาพูดเรื่องเกี่ยวกับแบบว่าเรื่องดนตรีกับสมองซึ่งพี่ไม่ค่อยถนัดนักแต่พี่เข้าใจเพราะว่าเนี่ยมันจริง มันส่งผลประโยชน์ต่อสมองนะครับมันก็จะมีส่วนของสมองส่วนหนึ่งที่มันแบบจะสามารถอธิบายได้ด้วยกลไกทางระบบประสาท engage ได้นะครับทำให้ดนตรีมันถึงดีเนาะส่วนของที่พี่เจนี่พูดมาถ้าผมพูดขาดไปพี่เจนี่เพิ่มได้นะฮะก็คือว่าดนตรีเนี่ยมันส่งผลต่อเชิงบวกในความเป็นมนุษย์เนาะจะแปลต่อว่าไงดีครับพี่เจนี่
จริงๆอาจารย์การพูดถูกแล้วค่ะก็คือหมายถึงว่าจริงๆดนตรีมันแค่ทุกคนรู้อยู่แล้วว่าดนตรีมันนำมาซึ่งความสนุกสนานมีบันเทิงอะไรก็ว่าไปหรืออาจจะพูดถึงอารมณ์อื่นๆด้วยแต่พอดีอาจารย์ยกตัวอย่างแค่อันเดียวคือมีความสุขพอดนตรีมันนำมาสู่ความสุขมันก็ไปเอฟเฟกต์ในด้านอื่นๆไม่ว่าจะสติปัญญาอารมณ์จิตใจอะไรก็ว่าไปประมาณนี้แหละค่ะอาจารย์การ
ขอบคุณมากนะครับก็
ค่ะ
คืออันนึงคือว่าดนตรีเนี่ยมันทำให้มีความสุขเนาะพอมันมีความสุขมันก็จะทำจัดการเรื่องอื่นๆได้
เรื่องอื่นๆได้ครับผม
Okay, now we are going to talk about music interventions. So in a part time, so because I have another episode after this. So I will ask both of Thai student and international student about you can share any ideas in this blank box about musical engagement behavior form you have read about the patient about client information. What is Ken's strengths? What are his music background? So I am not going to type it out because the limited of time. So I am going to skip to ask about what is our music intervention. Why we need to talk about this? So before you are going to see the real clients, before you are going to see Ken, so you need to have something in your mind. You need to think about that. So this is the point, this is the spot that we think together. So in my idea, in order to answer what is our basic music interventions, I always look at Ken ability. What kind of music activity that Ken can do? For example, playing instrument, singing, listening, or writing a song, maybe, or just some dance. Yep. So any thought about to answer this question, Dr. Jenny?
I'll answer this according to my experience then, because I think Ken was referred to music therapy session at 5 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
5, when he was 5. So I think
yep.
This young boy should enjoy action songs because it's easy and they have kind of instruction. Because I just imagine him with me in the maybe first few sessions. He just want to do something that can predict and have some structure, and action song always have structure in the songs, and it's always repetitive and it's simple, and sometimes we use a song that he already know, so it's quite easy for him to engage, I think. But even he doesn't have to do what the song tell him to do, but still he can just like enjoy the song that he's familiar with, or he can just move freely. I'll start with that, or just hello song. Normally when we do hello song with the child this age, normally we just leave some blank and then ask him about his name, or ask him about something easy like how are you, and he just says good or smile. I think that's kind of something that easy for him to engage. Yeah, for me.
That is very good. You told us a very good point. It is a predictable, something that he can predict,
Yes,
something he can
something.
assume this is gonna happen in the future. That
Yeah,
which
and
mean any kind of music activity that we need to provide for Ken is need to be his preferred, his familiarity.
yes, that's important. I think,
Yeah.
especially when the boy just as a start the music therapy session. I think something that easy is something that he can predict is important. I think it's just for myself when I have to go into the new class, new environment. I want something that I kind of can guess what's gonna happen next. That make me feel a bit calmer. So I think this is something.
Yeah, that is like
Yeah.
it can be our culture as well. Understand. Thank you, Dr. Jenny. So how about
Okay,
you,
ครับ
Dr. Satoko?
Well, I will start with Hello Song, and as Dr. Jenny was saying that I would choose some songs like what he's familiar with and something he can enjoy. So, and also repetitive rhythms could be very important maybe for him to kind of feel ease when he gets in the classroom, and also do some dancing to get excited, but at the end making sure he can calm down and go home quietly, or something like that. So start and end, I will be really making sure that he will understand the start and end, and then he can enjoy in the middle and do some instruments play, so he can have different approaches and how he can express his own thoughts and feeling without the words or something like that.
Oh, thank you so much. And you also said ISO principle. So for international student, I know that most of you are first year student. So if you don't know what that means, so I can explain you after this. Okay. Haley, what is your thought in mind?
Yeah, I would also start with some kind of greeting and typically movement, just because kids need to move their bodies.
Yeah.
If you know about any kind of like sensory regulation, so a lot of kids need help regulating their senses. You, even as an adult, will have times when you're really stressed, or you're really anxious about something, or it's just been a long day and our sensory system gets out of whack, and we need to have things that can calm us, can organize us again, so I'm not like everywhere and I can like focus. And a lot of times that helps with moving for kids. So a lot, maybe starting with some dancing or feeling out, especially in a first session. I'm a big fan of just exploration. So letting kids, just putting out a bucket of instruments and letting them pick it up and explore the sounds. What does it make? So then we're starting from a place to where I'm not yet the expert on them, nor will I ever be a full expert on them because I'm not them, but I'm not then coming in and saying, these are all the things that we're going to do because they're going to help you. But rather I'm saying, I have a few ideas. We're going to start with some things because I know about the brain. I know about children. I know about development. So there's some areas, things you're bringing into that table, but I also know that we got to figure out what you like and what you want to do. So let's play with some instruments. And do you like the drums more, or do you like the bells? Are you interested in playing the piano? Are you interested in shaking something? So we can just figure out their preferences, because that will help optimize treatment. And figuring out then in those moments, like if there's something that they are interested in and they're like, oh, I really love like shaking this, well, that's a chance then for us to connect and work on like some of that joint attention we were talking about earlier. Like they're really interested in that, so I'm gonna pick up the egg shaker too. And then using some of the rhythm or predictable form or a familiar song and some of these aspects to engage in some more of that like communication or just interactions or that joint attention. And then I love also like bringing it down at the end of the session, calming them.
Yeah.
So they're not like wired and they like run out of the end of the session like, woo! And the parents are like, oh my gosh, what did you do? So love that one.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all of the expert. So I would like to sum up quickly. So in order to prepare music intervention to Ken, so we know the goal inside. Like we as a therapy, we need to keep the goal in mind. But just that you need to warn yourself that this goal can be changed. It depends on his response in that day. And it depends on his response in that. It depends on his energy. That's gonna be a good word. His energy on that moment. So, but he is the plan for you. So the expert suggested that so we can start with the hello song. And we can provide some movement, music and movement, or any kind of basic music activity like playing instrument, singing, or even for just listening to music. However, any kind of music intervention or music activities that you are going to provide to this type of guest, so that activity you need to provide something that Ken can predict. Ken can assume it's gonna happen, and you can use some activity or instrument or toys that Ken familiar with. The rhythm is, I think, is a main point of musical elements that can make him feel, yeah, I can predict that. Especially for steady beat, it's easy to predict. And for the process, we can start with the greeting, and then during the we are praying or doing anything to Ken, we are going to find what music instrument that he like. Is there anything that he doesn't like? Especially, it's just the process of finding out. So finding things like investigator, it should be fun. And don't forget that use ISO principle, decision control with maybe high energy, but at the end, we hope we can make him calm at the end of the session. So thank you so much for all of this, but I think I can have like 2 hours to talk about it. Thank you so much. Any thoughts, any of your thoughts, very helpful, and I do learn a lot. So hopefully our participants will have some idea, even if they only first year. So I think it's very good start to go right now. So you can guess like, oh, what's going to happen? And when that moment come to you, it's just easy. I can do that. I used to do that before your teacher taught you. So thank you so much. Yes, we have 2 minutes left. So is there anyone want to ask or adding some information? Oh, by the way, Dr. Nati, he come here. So I think he will join us on the next episode. มีใครอยากถามอะไรไหมครับหรือว่าทุกอย่างตรงไหนที่ไม่สนใจไม่ใช่สิตรงไหนที่ไม่เข้าใจบ้างไหม ไม่มีเนาะ โอเคครับ so yeah we have to say goodbye thank you so much Henley and Dr. Sadakodi is the first time that we work together as something else not WFMT stuff hope you feel like hope you get some positive energy from here so I'm very glad that you are here so if there anything that I mean all of us here can support or can can work together, please let us know. So thank you so much. And thank you again, Henley. So in the next day, I would like you to come to Thailand again.
I know, I hope I can make it soon.
yeah and ขอบคุณพี่เจนนี่มากๆเลยนะครับวันนี้พี่ก็ยุ่งแต่พี่ก็ยังมาช่วยยังมามาแบ่งปันความรู้ให้นะครับก็ขอบคุณพี่เจนนี่มากๆเลยนะครับ so
I come here to get your energy, Gan.
okay good did you get one
Yeah, a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. So you can leave now because I am going to run another episode. But if you want to join, I will give you a 5-minute break. Yeah, and I will run another. So we are very welcome Satoko Henley to join the third episode. So yeah. I think boss can provide some Thai song. Yeah.
But thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
You gave me a very good vibe and nice to meet you everyone and hopefully I can join the next episode but I better go for tonight so thank you
Yeah
I will
have a good night
contact again
yeah
thank you
bye bye
Bye.
Nice to meet you.
เดี๋ยวให้พี่บอสเปิดเพลงให้ฟังแล้วกันนะครับ เดี๋ยวเบรกกันสัก5 นาทีนะครับ สวัสดีจ้าทุกคนเฮนรี่ยังอยู่นะจ๊ะ Oh you still wake just let you know that yeah yeah Dr. Ray registered she would try her best to join us
Yes, that's what she told me.
yeah
She said, I'm gonna try and make it.
yeah it's gonna be fun so for international student do you want me and Henley to explain the ISO principle if because I think Henley she can explain in 4 minutes if you want please say yes or type yes yes please Henley you go 4 minutes
Sure. So the ISO principle, the essence of the ISO principle is meeting your client where they are and then using the music to help shift them somewhere else. And that can look different with every person that you work with. A lot of times, if we're talking about kids, typically they come into the session and they're like running around and they're looking and they're really high energy. And then when they're all over here, it's going to be hard for them to do a lot of intentional communication. It's going to be hard for them to sit. Going to be harder for them to like think and just engage in something that's difficult. So we engage them with that music first and do something that's really high energy. So we're playing our guitar or we're playing on the drum really fast. So we're doing something that's fast or something that's loud that matches where they are. And then we want them to come here. And so we gradually take the music and we make it calmer or we make it slower and we get them. And so now they're down here and we can do different things in the session. And so we have to remember that that is gradual. And sometimes it also looks like this. So I'll do something really high energy and then we'll stop. And so we bring them down a little bit, but then we go high energy again and then we stop. And the high energy again and then we stop. And now we're tiptoeing quietly. And then we may do something kind of fast again. And then we bring it down. And then we're calm and we're watching and we're having fun. And now we're able to do something else. So you used that music to meet them here and then bring them here. And it can also work vice versa, where someone comes in and they're really low energy and you want them to do more and engage with you, but they're really tired or they're really shy. And you need to start with that music softer, calmer, slower, and then you gradually can bring it up. Ghana, you gonna do some ISO for us?
yes
Great.
you still have time 1 more minute but you did great so I gonna play it very shortly so I start with the high energy and bring like music yeah okay I am to stop keep recording